Hey boys and girls, FenixFire here with another Pokemon match, this time in the RU tier against SolarKneeCaps. Link in the description as always. A match with so many twists and turns. Looking at his team, I'm definitely in for a rough ride, so let's start this replay up. Solar leads off with Gallade, while I charge forward with Archeops. Although an anti-elite set with a Focus Sash is possible, it would leave Gallade severely crippled, thus I decide to lash out with Stab Pluck. Fortunately for me, I managed to not only outspeed but also finish it off, giving me a swift leg up on my opponent. As Honchkrow appears, I presage Sucker Punch to quickly deal with my Pokemon. To avoid such a terrible blow, I quickly fall back and mount a defensive posture with Sandslash. With several of his Pokemon weak to Rock and no Rapid Spinner in sight, I quickly lay down my Stealth Rocks to severely punish any switches. Weak to Yanmega's immense special attack, I rotate Sandslash out for Audino to cushion the blow. Even though it still takes a good amount of damage, Audino is able to stall the foe out thanks to a combination of Wish and Protect, while flinging in an attack along the way. Although I do get flinched the first turn, my plan remains unchanged. Abnormally enough, Audino winces twice, bringing me to dangerously low levels of health. Desperate for recover, I let Audino protect itself to at least survive another blow, providing me with enough breathing room to cripple the foe next turn. As Air Slash hits for a third time, Audino stands strong and launches a Thunder Wave to debilitate Yanmega. Still severely crippled from the previous assaults, I direct my Audino to protect stall Yanmega for additional leftover recovery, after which I can switch out to take advantage of Audino's Regenerator ability, healing up to 1/3 of its HP. The only problem now is who to sack against this monster of a Dragonfly. Thanks to the invaluable team preview, I was able to make an assessment of his team, allowing me to conclude that my slow and bulky Hariyama would be the least helpful of the bunch against my foe. Therefore, I recall Audino and sacrifice Hariyama so the former may live to take the fight to Yanmega again. As Hariyama bears Yanmega's terrible brunt, the score balances out at 5 vs 5. With renewed vigor, Audino mounts another attack on Yanmega. In a stroke of luck, the foe gets paralyzed, permitting Audino to cover its bases in the form of Wish. Assuming my foe would be intimidated by Audino's walling potential, I went for another Thunder Wave to paralyze anything that may dare switch in. Nevertheless, the foe decides to stay in as both Paralysis and Stealth Rocks will cut Yanmega's potential short as soon as it's recalled. With the two deadlocked in a struggle, a combination of attacks fly across the screen to subdue their rival. With my only attacking move, Double Edge, doing poor damage, Audino sure has its work cut out for itself. As this portion is rather stallish, I'll explain my moveset a bit more. With Audino's poor attack, special attack and its denial to moves like the Seismic Toss, it needs to scavenge for every boost of power it can get. Even though Double Edge has recoil, counterintuitive to its walling nature, leftovers can easily cover that up thanks to how small the recoil is, mostly due to the tiny amount of damage you'll inflict. Anyway, back to the game. After what seemed to be an endless war of attrition, mainly due to Audino getting flinched 4 times, Audino is able to best Yanmega and leave the score at 5 vs 4. With only 4 Pokemon left, SolarKneeCaps sends in Lantern, another specially based Pokemon. Unwavered by its demeanor, I proceed with my tactics of stalling the opponent out with a combination of Wish and Protect if needed, and occasionally attacking with Double Edge. Seeing how much Audino's attack inflicts, my opponent quickly retrieves Lantern and sends in Entei, likely packing the powerful Flare Blitz to burn Audino to a cinder. With Double Edge only denting the Entei, I notice the foe is packing leftovers instead of Choice Band or Life Orb, which could definitely spell doom for Audino. Confident that I can take a single unboosted Flare Blitz, I protect to regain my health and brace for impact. Although this was quite a gamble, considering Entei with leftovers normally carries Substitute or Howl, I was certain he'd want to remove Audino as soon as possible due to it stalling out the majority of his team. As Entei charges, it manages to deal significant damage, but as suspected, not enough to KO me, thanks to the lack of power boosting item, giving Audino a window of opportunity to paralyze the foe and enfeeble it severely. Deserving a rest after the long and brutal bouts, I recall Audino for Sandslash to stomach Entei's moves skillfully. I even managed to get in scot-free, thanks to Entei being fully paralyzed. Predicting my opponent would want to dodge my stab Earthquake, I opt for knockoff instead. crippling any switch in by removing its item. Favorably, for me, I managed to undo Swallow with its choice band, slashing its attack potential drastically. Although Brave Bird doesn't do quite as much, I'm unable to hit Swallow effectively due to only packing Rapid Spin and Knockoff, forcing me to switch to Audino again. Taking less than half from Swallow's Brave Bird, I should be able to outstall this Pokemon as well with a combination of Wish and Protect, making it fall to its own recoil damage in the long run. As I set up for another showdown, misfortune strikes Audino once more, this time in the form of a critical hit. Proudly carrying his weight, Audino's defeat drops the score to 4 vs 4. With the opponent only having a number of weakened Pokemon left, I sally forward Archeops again to strike at his dwindling beasts. With a swift pluck, Swallow meets its end, bringing the score to 4 vs 3. As Entei tries to settle the score, it strikes at Archeops with extreme speed, but thanks to my rock typing and no boosting item on Entei's side, I'm able to survive the blow with over 50% of my HP and finish him off, lowering the score to 4 vs 2. Content with Archeops' work this match, I leave it in to take Honchkro's Sucker Punch. Even though I do lose a Pokemon this way, setting the score to 3 vs 2, I am able to get a safe switch into my Crustle and thus preserving its sturdy ability. As Crustle prepares itself to go for Rock Blast and possibly finish off the enemy, he misses! With this crucial mishap, Honchkro can easily annihilate Crustle and earn his team a vital success. As the dust settles, only 2 Pokemon remain on either side. Drained by the use of Brave Bird and Life Orb, I deploy Poliwrath to deal with Honchkro promptly in the form of Vacuum Wave. Taken off guard by this specially based Poliwrath, the match reaches its final stages at 2 vs 1. Locked into my attack, I'm forced to switch back to Sand Slash. As Sand Slash is unable to counter Lanturn due to its low speed and special defense, I order it to attack on the off chance my foe predicts my Poliwrath's coming in. Needless to say, this doesn't happen and Lanturn swamps Sand Slash with Surf, boiling the match down to a tense 1 vs 1. I cling to Hidden Power lest Focus Blast misses and go for the attack. As I feared, Hidden Power was insufficient to kill Lanturn as it smites Poliwrath with Thunder. Given up hope, Poliwrath hangs on but is paralyzed in the process. It will all come down to the next turn. Lanturn charges his mighty attack but trips up. Seizing the opportunity, Poliwrath brushes off the pain and launches his attack, defeating Lanturn and winning the match narrowly 1 vs 0. That was the game for today. I hope you had as much fun watching as I had playing it. This was honestly one of the most intense matches I have ever had in the recent past, and props to SolarKneeCap for that one. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe to either of us, and I hope to see you on the next narration.